Imagine you're at a track meet. It's a Wednesday morning. You're a 17-year-old athlete. You're competing. Your twin brother is right there beside you. The bleachers are full of students in team colors. The air's still damp from the morning rain. Then someone sits down in the wrong spot. Under your team's tent, you ask him to move. Politely at first. He doesn't. The words get sharper. Seconds pass. Fewer than 30 by the account of the person standing right next to you. And then, your brother reaches over to move him, and that's when the knife comes out. One strike, one stab wound. Left side of the chest. The blade pierces the breastbone, punctures the pericardium, the protective sac around the heart, and drives directly into the right ventricle. Your twin brother, born just 2 minutes after you, dies in your arms on the bleachers of a high school stadium in Frisco, Texas, all because of a seat at a track meet. This is the story of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf, and of the teenager who killed him, and of a verdict handed down just this week that the entire country watched for. And the most disturbing part? He almost convinced 12 jurors it was justified. Frisco, Texas, a booming suburb about 30 miles north of Dallas, one of the fastest growing cities in America. Manicured subdivisions, top-rated school districts, Friday night football under stadium lights. The kind of place where parents drive their kids to weekend track meets, expecting the worst thing that could happen is a sprained ankle. Austin Metcalf was born July 31st, 2007. He was a junior at Frisco Memorial High School, an honor student and natural leader, the kind of kid other kids gravitated toward. He was 6 feet tall, 225 pounds, the MVP linebacker on the football team. College recruiters had started calling. His mother, Megan, described him as simply the most amazing kid. His father, Jeff, talked about watching both of his sons play on the same field at the same time, a joy that seems almost unbearable to imagine now. Austin had a twin brother, Hunter, born 2 minutes later, inseparable ever since. They played football together, they were teammates, and on April 2nd, 2025, they were at the same track meet, together. Across the city and 5 miles away, Frisco Centennial High School had a student of their own competing that morning, Karmelo Anthony, also 17, also an athlete, football and track. His teammates had nominated him for team captain. His father would later describe him as an honor student, the oldest of 4 children, a kid from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, who had built a life and reputation in this Dallas suburb. 2 kids, same city, different schools. They had never met before that morning. April 2nd, 2025, the UIL District 11-5 A Championship track meet, David Kuykendall Stadium, Frisco, Texas. Just before 10 a.m., thunderstorms had rolled through earlier, delaying the competition. Athletes were huddled in their team tents in the bleachers near the 50-yard line, waiting for the weather to clear. Karmelo Anthony was sitting under the Memorial High School tent, the tent that belonged to Austin Metcalf's team. Witnesses, many of them students, said Anthony was there to get out of the rain. The defense would later argue that mingling in other schools' tents was common at track meets. Austin Metcalf noticed him. He asked him to leave. Anthony refused. A verbal confrontation escalated. According to witness testimony and a police report, Anthony reached inside his bag and said, 5 times, "Touch me and see what happens." Austin Metcalf pushed him, moved to physically relocate him from the tent. And within seconds that nobody in that stadium will ever forget, Anthony pulled a knife from his bag and drove it once into Austin's chest. Officers responding to Kuykendall Stadium found Austin Metcalf critically wounded in the bleachers. Police and fire personnel attempted life-saving measures on the scene. A football coach put pressure on the wound with his hands. Memorial's athletic trainer performed CPR until paramedics arrived. Head track coach Robert Starr would later testify, his voice breaking, "Everybody was praying. I just knew Austin was gone." Austin Metcalf was rushed to a nearby hospital where he was pronounced dead. Hunter Metcalf, his twin, his best friend, born 2 minutes after him, had been right there. He watched it happen. He held his brother. He tried to stop the bleeding with his own hands. His father, Jeff, later told reporters, "His brother told me, I tried to hold the wound for the blood, but there was too much, and he died in my arms." Anthony was apprehended at the scene, and in custody, he told the arresting officer, "I did it." and then claimed it was self-defense. Let me ask you something. If you were sitting in the wrong spot at a track meet and someone asked you to leave, would you reach into your bag and pull out a knife? Think about that for a moment. A knife. At a high school track meet, at 9 in the morning, the defense built their entire case around the idea that Karmelo Anthony acted in the chaos of a split-second moment, that he feared a beating, that he was surrounded, that Texas law does not require a person to wait until they are struck before defending themselves. His attorney, Mike Howard, would tell the jury, Texas law does not require that you wait until you get hit. But here's what the evidence showed, witness by witness, across 4 days of testimony and 21 prosecution witnesses. Anthony was the one who sat in Memorial's tent uninvited. Anthony was the one who refused to leave. Anthony was the one who issued the verbal threat 5 times before a single hand was laid on him. It was only after that threat, after Metcalf made physical contact to move him, that Anthony drew the blade. Prosecutors called it what it was, a sneak attack, a provoked and unjustified killing. One teenage witness put it plainly from the stand. That's lethal force against non-lethal force. After the arrest, as the case exploded across social media, becoming a flashpoint for racial tension, political commentary, and online outrage on every side, Anthony's family launched a crowdfunding campaign on GiveSendGo. The Help Karmelo Official Fund ultimately raised over $500,000. The family said the money went toward legal defense and emergency relocation after death threats forced them to move to an undisclosed address. Anthony was released on reduced bond, from $1 million down to $250,000, and placed on house arrest with an ankle monitor. He waited 14 months for a jury to decide his fate. On the 3rd day of trial, Saturday, June 6, 2026, Collin County Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Elizabeth Ventura took the stand. Judge John Roach warned the gallery before her testimony began that it would be graphic, that those who wished to leave could. Austin Metcalf's parents walked out of the courtroom. Dr. Ventura described what the knife had done. The stab wound was located on the left side of Austin's chest. It was oval-shaped, 2 to 2.5 inches in length. She used the word gaping. The blade had perforated the sternum, the breastbone, perforated the pericardium, the sac that surrounds and protects the heart, and penetrated the right ventricle. Not survivable, she said. Cause of death, stab wound to the chest, manner of death, homicide. Prosecutors showed the jury 4 autopsy photographs. Several jurors covered their mouths. Some appeared to cry. The defense tried to spin even this. Attorney Mike Howard pointed out that the wound's angle was lateral, not vertical, suggesting the stab was awkward, defensive, not calculated. You don't intentionally stab someone like this, he argued. But the jury had already heard from the people who were standing there. From Eddie Para, who saw blood and a hole in Austin's chest and watched his friend begin screaming for help, and broke down on the stand himself. From Hunter Metcalf, who held his twin brother as he died. From a community that will never be the same. Karmelo Anthony stood trial in Collin County District Court in McKinney, Texas, before Judge John Roach Jr. He was charged with murder, first-degree felony, under the Texas Penal Code, Section 19.02. Under Texas law, a first-degree murder conviction carries a sentencing range of 5 to 99 years, or life in prison. Because Anthony was 17 at the time, the age at which Texas law considers juveniles to be adults for criminal proceedings, he was tried as an adult. Jury selection began June 1st, 2026. Nearly 600 prospective jurors were summoned. A gag order imposed by Judge Roach restricted what parties to the case could say publicly, and electronics were barred from the courtroom. Anthony did not take the stand in his own defense. The defense rested June 8th. On June 9th, 2026, after less than 3 hours of deliberation, the jury returned a verdict: guilty, murder. The sentencing phase followed the same afternoon. Anthony's mother, Kayla Hayes, was the only witness called by the defense. She told the jury her son was sorry. She asked for mercy. The jury sentenced Karmelo Anthony to 35 years in prison. He will be eligible for parole after serving half that sentence. As required by law, Karmelo Anthony is no longer presumed innocent. He has been convicted by a jury of his peers in a court of law following a full trial. After the verdict, Austin's aunt stepped up to speak directly to the young man who killed her nephew. She asked a question that no sentence, not 35 years, not 99, can fully answer. Why could you not have just left? That question will stay with everyone who followed this case. It will stay with Hunter Metcalf, who accepted his own diploma at graduation, and then walked back across that stage, alone, to accept Austin's posthumous diploma on his behalf. The crowd stood for 30 seconds and applauded in silence. It will stay with Jeff Metcalf, who stood before the court and said, "Since the day he first grabbed my finger, he had my heart with it." Who watched recruiters call about his son's football future, who now runs a scholarship in Austin's name. And it should stay with all of us. There is a version of April 2nd, 2025, where Karmelo Anthony simply gets up, leaves the tent, walks back to his team, and nothing happens. 2 teenagers go home, both of them. We will never know what Austin Metcalf could have become, what records he might have broken, what jersey number his college team might have retired, whether he and Hunter would have played college ball together. We will never know because of a seat at a track meet. And here's what I want to know from you. Leave it in the comments below. Do you think 35 years was the right sentence, or should the jury have gone higher? This case divided the country. I want to hear where you stand. Austin Metcalf's aunt said it plainly in that courtroom to the man who took her nephew from the world. Reporters will move to other stories. For our family, this is not a story. It is a reality forever. If you've been following this case, if Austin's name has stayed with you, share this video, talk about it. Make sure his story is not forgotten. And if you or someone you know is in crisis, the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is available 24 hours a day. Call or text 988. Subscribe if this channel brings you stories that matter, because behind every headline, there's a twin brother standing on a graduation stage, holding a diploma that should not be his to hold. Austin Metcalf, born July 31st, 2007, murdered April 2nd, 2025, 17 years old, and his door is still shut.